in any normal circumstance, this would be a huge issue, right? You would have a president that would be getting a lot of flack from the media that they were saying one thing that the staff would then have to subsequently go out and walk it back. We saw him do it multiple times. I think it was about 5 times this week. Obviously, the most prominent being this flub that he made at that end of that speech there in Poland, where he talked about removing Putin from office, his staff talking about walking it back, then Biden doing a subsequent press conference here in the States saying that he didn't regret anything. He was only talking about it in his personal capacity, somehow thinking that you can bifurcate the person and the presidency, which is ridiculous. The one thing, Emma, that makes this different is that you've really seen a complicit media in this, cover this administration like no other time before in history. No matter what this president does, you have a legacy media that goes out there, and you saw that the other day with Kelly O'Donnell from NBC News, literally in the middle of Biden's answer, kind of get in the middle of it and say, you mean that from a personal standpoint. They literally are there, and I know we're in the sort of the tail end of March Madness, giving him the assist and saying, I think what you mean, Mr. President, is the following. You've got 2 White House press secretary staffers, senior press staffers out because of COVID, Jen Psaki and her deputy. And it's almost like the members of the White House press corps have said, don't worry, we got it. We'll help you on this.
Wow. Really interesting. Of course, hoping they recover from COVID. Definitely not ideal to catch COVID at any time, especially during this heightened time of war overseas. We did see the president come out recently, again, when he was sort of clarifying those remarks about Putin, whether or not he was officially calling for a regime change or not, when he said the man cannot remain in power. We saw sort of a zoom in photo of the president's own note cards there, essentially some talking points. And, Sean, when you're preparing for a show, you use notes, and we've seen press secretaries, of course, come out with full binders of sort of talking points here. But what do you make of it when you see the president sort of lay out these hypothetical questions, I guess he could be asked from the press?
Yeah, Emma, to your point, I think you're right. A press secretary or president, is going to come out with notes. That's understandable, especially facts and figures. You're going to say, we had 4,286 missiles at the ready. This is how many dollars we've spent. That makes sense. What I think was unique about the cheat sheet that he had there was it was about his feelings. If you look at the notes, it was, I felt this way. You don't necessarily, I would think one wouldn't need notes to remind them how they felt about why they said something. If it was really something that came from the heart or an emotional plea, you would think that you wouldn't need to be reminded or have it written down why you felt that way. But yet there they were talking about how he had to say what he said because of this deep held emotional feeling that he had about what Putin has been doing. So I thought that was what was unique about it, was the nature of what was on the card.